Listen, reflect on this in literature. At one point, Shakespeare wrote into Julius Caesar. Caesar was up there, and he was like, one of the characters, one of the top guys or whatever that was around him. He was a legit dude. This was Caesar gonna say. Caesar was like, "Oh, who all we got that's helping? Who is my top guys and stuff in the Senate? Who is the top, aristocrat people that I got by my side?" And his guy was like, "Oh, we got so and 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 so. So these are legit dudes. So you straight." And then he got to one name and he was like, "Yeah, we definitely got him. So we definitely tight because he gets it in." And Julius Caesar famously said, "Oh no, he's too skinny, dog." He famously said, "Oh no, y'all think he's nice? Yeah, too nice because he too skinny." You right, he gets it in. And all these skinny guys, man, we can't be safe from them. They're too ambitious. Keep my cabinet and everybody around me fat and sleek. Go read it, it's there. Keep everybody around me. This is Julius Caesar having set into the seat. This is why aristocrats have a reputation of being fat and lazy and chubby, man. Because of Julius Caesar, he put that out there. Shakespeare put that out there, like, yo, it's dangerous to keep them skinny dudes around because they get it in. So if you've already ascended to power, if you've been a skinny dude, a skinny ambitious dude, and you've already ascended to power, listen, you're gonna likely start getting fat. And you better keep everybody around you fatter. Because they'll get ambitious being skinny and hungry like that. And they'll be like, "I'm gonna get this fat boy out the way, and I'm near to him." That's what he was worried about. He said, no, keep him from me. And in fact, that skinny dude was doing the most.
Ain't done nothing in a long time. Sat down, got too fat, but it's the wrong time. Moab on your back, and you know they heavy. Jelly roll along those lines. So now you got a dad bod. But look at that, fat boy. Look at Eglon. Slim down, remember, World War I. What sort of doughboy are you, son? Pillsbury? A warm little oven bun? Or a soldier, so we can say, victory, Ehud, you won. They got pride in the butterballs with the fat back. Appeal to the appetites, that's a life hack. Them with the sword, since they won't get on board. With the slim fit and trim, we're ready for the war.
Judges 3. Now, these are nations which the Lord left to test Israel by them. That is, all Israel who had no experience of any war in Canaan. It was only that the generations of the people of Israel might know war, that he might teach war to at least as had not known before. These are the nations, the 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites who dwelt on Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon as far as the entrance of Hamath. They were for the testing of Israel, to know whether Israel would obey the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by Moses. So the people of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and they took their daughters to themselves for wives, and their own daughters they gave to their sons, and they served their gods. And the people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, for forgetting the Lord their God, and serving the Baals and Ashtaroth. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the people of Israel served Cushan-Rishathaim 8 years. But when the people of Israel cried to the Lord raised up a deliverer for the people of Israel, who delivered them, Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel. he went out to war, and the Lord gave Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, to his hand. And his hand prevailed over Cushan-Rishathaim. So the land had rest 40 years. Then Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. And the people of Israel again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He gathered to himself the Ammonites and the Amalekites, and went and defeated Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. And the Moab and the people of Israel served Eglon and the king of Moab 18 years. But when the people of Israel cried to the Lord raised up for them a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, the Benjaminite, a left-handed man. The people of Israel sent tribute by him to Eglon, the king of Moab, and Ehud made for himself a sword with 2 edges, a cubit in length, and he girded it on his right thigh under his clothes. And he presented the tribute to Eglon, king of Moab. Now Eglon was a very fat man, and when Ehud had finished presenting the tribute, he sent away the people that had carried the tribute. But he himself turned back at the sculptured stones near Gilgal and said, I have a secret message for you, O king. And he commanded silence. And all his attendants went out from his presence. And Ehud came to him as he was sitting alone in his cool roof chamber. And Ehud said, I have a message from God for you. And he arose from his seat. And Ehud reached with his left hand and took the sword from his right thigh and thrust into his belly. And the hilt also went in after the blade, and the fat closed over the blade, for he did not draw the sword out of his belly, and the dirt came out. Then Ehud went out into the vestibule, and closed the doors of the roof chamber upon him, and locked them. When he had gone, the servants came, and when they saw that the doors of the roof chamber were locked, they thought, he is only relieving himself in the clouds of the cool chamber. And they waited till they were utterly at a loss. But when he still did not open the doors of the roof chamber, they took the key and opened them, and there lay the Lord dead on the floor. Ehud escaped while they delayed, and passed beyond the sculptured stones, and escaped to Seirah. When he arrived, he sounded the trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim, and the people of Israel went down with him from the hill country, having him at their head. And he said to them, follow after me, for the Lord has given your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. So they went down after him, and they seized the fords of the Jordan against the Moabites, and all allowed not a man to pass over. And they killed at that time about 10,000 of the Moabites, all strong, able-bodied men. Not a man escaped. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest for 80 years. After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, who killed 600 of the Philistines with an ox goad, and he too delivered Israel. The word of the Lord. Thanks be God, Father. Yeah.
Anybody got it? Judges 3. Who got it? Growing pains? Kinda. and their hearts have become fat. Very close. Be prepared. Very close. Anybody else? Judges 3. Nobody? Be prepared, and their hearts were fat. Judges 3. We'll get in and get out. A little chilly out. Slim down, fat boy. Judges 3. Slim down, fat boy. It's really a message about strife. If you pay attention, it's really a message about strife. There's a couple sub themes here. The hearts were fat and be prepared are major themes. There's a couple sub themes within this about strife and about our Father's ability to use unlikely things and situations to be able to try to get us to where we need to be in order to be prepared. Y'all listening? He said that Israel's going through a moment in time in which he's raising up unlikely people from unlikely places and stuff in order to try to keep some semblance of righteousness into Israel, to try to keep them free, to try to keep them alive so that they will live. He said, because he said, I'm never breaking this covenant with you guys. No matter what you do, I'm not breaking this covenant. So if I'm not breaking my covenant, which is to cause you to live, really, to cause you to thrive, then I've got to come up with some strategies and unlikely ways and some different things to try to get you guys in a position of where you need to be. And it says that one of these judges came along, and Othniel, he's the son of Caleb. He's the first of which he said, oh, yeah, this one, he came and did his thing to keep people off of Israel because Israel was obviously getting oppressed and feeling that pressure. And it specifically says that our father set it up that way. We discussed some of this in the last chapter, that he kept some of those people nearby so that Israel can understand war, strife. This chapter specifically goes into it. It says he wants them to understand war. Some of these generations don't know it. He said, we got generations now, unlike Moses and them, and Joshua and them, and Caleb and them. They don't know nothing like, oh, we walked out of Egypt trying to be free, and the Lord gave us peace, and we were all at the 7 palms and the 12 rivers and stuff, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, the Amalekites or the Ammonites or whoever came running up out of nowhere like, we gonna kill you. They don't know strife and war in this generation because they done had people that came in generations before them that went hard. And so they get fat. You see that? And so they get fat because they've been a long time without strife. And the father said, I know what it is. I don't really want that for them. I really want them to have peace. But I understand the predicament. They need some opposition. Listen, our Father has everything in his hand. At the beginning of time, he created everything and us and all love and everything. And then guess what? We got an adversary. You see that? We got an adversary that follows us around seeking who to devour. Isn't that correct? It's a part of the design to say, I've got to keep my children on the righteous way in the path and keep them focused and purposeful. If I keep them walking forward on a righteous path and keep them purposeful and keep them engaged and keep them with strife to keep it moving forward, they'll stay slim. They won't be sitting around waiting for sin to crouch at the door. That's what he's saying. He's like, by design, then, they have to have some strife so that they can be able to have purpose. They could be able to stay on the path. They could be able to move. Because when they don't, problems arise. Remember, we discussed this before? Well, I brought it up before. We haven't really preached it because we haven't gotten there. But we just talked briefly about how David was sitting around. David did a lot. I'm sure he was slim, but it got to a point where David was sitting around, and all of a sudden, guess what? They talking about he was up inside of his upper chamber and got to looking out that window and seeing somebody else's wife taking a bath. Problems. Sin is seeking to master you, and it's depicted as sitting and crouching at the door. And I always told people, listen, keep it moving. If you're active in righteousness and purposeful things and sin is crouching at the door, guess what? You have a much better chance of avoiding falling into the pitfalls of sin. You have a much better chance of being purposeful. Slim down. So it says that this first judge, he came, and here they're in a zone, in a period in time in which they see some peace, but then they have war. And that's what was the point in the Father letting us know and putting him in there. Like, hey, I keep war near them. I keep those ups and downs near them because I don't want them to become complacent. I don't want them to not be doing anything because that right there might very well be the damnation of them. They'll get to worshiping Ashtoreth and Baal and stuff like that. You understand? So I'm going to keep these nearby instead of clearing out like I thought I would do. But now that I see, no, we're going to keep it nearby. Then the story opens up into this, this big situation. They had gotten conquered by the Moabites, y'all. Y'all know Moab. You're not ever supposed to get the Moabites get you, dude. So that puts it in perspective for you because Moab, they like the worst of the worst. They're like the bad news bears. And if the Moabites get the better of them, and for 18 years they have been dominated by this dude. So when you put it in perspective, then the children of Israel must have been fatter than the Moabites. You get what I'm saying? I'm not fat shaming here. I mean, how can I be? But what I'm saying is that it's actually biblical that this fatness is a sign of laziness. It's a sign of not being as active as what you were created to be. Did you hear what I said? Give that one to you. Well, however the Father created you, if you're active to that, listen, because laziness is relative to me now. This is what this chapter showed me. Laziness is relative to me now. What I'm saying is you could be out working a bunch of people and still be lazy. Because our Father created you a certain type of way. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And therefore, and other people another type of way. And the way he created you, with your metabolism, with your energy, with your strength, with your stamina and all of that, if you're not performing to the level of what he gave you, guess what? Them calories gonna stay on you in the form of fat. Slim down, fat boy. I'm just showing y'all that. We're talking about caloric deficit. We're talking about your intake giving you energy and you being able to use that energy to get righteous things done. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm saying, if you're given one of those such bodies that can use energy well, you have a very efficient metabolism, what have you. Whatever it is, the point is you're not using enough of it if you're storing a lot of it. Israel got fat, man. They're not doing what they supposed to do at the level what they supposed to be doing. I didn't see talking about anybody looking out and saying, "Oh, Israel, they got a bunch of land, they doing straight." They're not working at the level that they supposed to be working at. They're fatter than the Moabites now, and you see how they depicted the Moabites. They've been oppressed now by some fat boys, man. Listen, reflect on this in literature. At one point, Shakespeare wrote into Julius Caesar. Caesar was up there, and he was like one of the characters, one of the top guys or whatever that was around him. He was a legit dude. This was Caesar gonna say. Caesar was like, "Oh, who all we got that's helping? Who is my top guys and stuff in the Senate? Who is these the top aristocrat people that I got by my side?" And his guy was like, "Oh, we got so and 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 so. So these are legit dudes. So you straight." And then he got to one name and he was like, "Yeah, we definitely got him. So we definitely tight because he gets it in." And Julius Caesar famously said, "Oh no, he's too skinny, dog." He famously said, "Oh no, y'all think he's nice? Yeah, too nice because he too skinny." You right, he gets it in. And all these skinny guys, man, we can't be safe from them. They're too ambitious. Keep my cabinet and everybody around me fat and sleek. Go read it, it's there. Keep everybody around me. This is Julius Caesar having set into the seat. This is why aristocrats have a reputation of being fat and lazy and chubby, man. Because of Julius Caesar, he put that out there. Shakespeare put that out there, like, yo, it's dangerous to keep them skinny dudes around because they get it in. So if you've already ascended to power, if you've been a skinny dude, a skinny ambitious dude, and you've already ascended to power, listen, you're gonna likely start getting fat. And you better keep everybody around you fatter. Because they'll get ambitious being skinny and hungry like that. And they'll be like, I'm going to get this fat boy out the way. And I'm near to him. That's what he was worried about. He said, no, keep him from me. And in fact, that skinny dude was doing the most. He was moving around. He was right. He was right. Into the scene, Judges 3. He goes and visits this dude, man, to show you what the Moabites. There's a couple things, little hidden things about the Moabites. They got fat, obviously. They're oppressive. They've been oppressing the Israelites for 18 years. They've been doing well and stuff like that. This dude got parlors. He got houses with second floors and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And the dude walks over there like, yeah, y'all been oppressing us 18 years, so we not no threat to y'all. Y'all done virtually subdued us and everything. I'm even left-handed. You see how they put that in there? Unlikely. Like, were you least expecting this person? You least expecting it from him because you thinking, we done already did them. We finished them off. They ain't really got nothing left. See what I'm saying? And he brings them in there, and that's what this fat Moabite might do this thinking. Like, man, we done already did Israel so many different which ways, man. They got to be done. And now the best that they could do is come up with this dude right here who's a little awkward, a little bit different. He don't really operate in these realms like this other way that people operate that we're used to. You understand what I'm talking about? We know how people's supposed to operate, and he don't operate like that. And the way he operates is not proven to be successful because we know how people are supposed to be operating in this realm. That's who we bring in there. Let me tell you what happens, dog, so you know. Because you know we're dealing with the Moabites. He goes in there, he gets a feel for the whole room. And he looking around like, oh, look at all these fat, lazy people. Then he says this. He going to say to the king, I got a secret for you. Curiosity killed the cat. I got a little piece of information I'm going to give you and only you. Curiosity killed the cat, especially the fat one. And he knowing that everybody around this dude really don't want to do their jobs. You see that? He knowing this aristocratic class is fat. That's why they keep it people like that in these spots. This is how it is evolved. Don't nobody around him want to do these jobs. Don't nobody around him want to do nothing but sit around with him. He gonna tell them all to be quiet because they was obviously all talking and stuff at the same time, not paying attention to the stranger amongst them. He said he got a secret to tell me and only me. All y'all gotta leave. Y'all know what just happened there, don't you? This dude went into that room and saw all these fat aristocratic men and decided they like men. Gotta read it, it's there. He gonna tell the king, I know you like me. Send all of them out. I got a secret for you. Because you got to sit there and think, why would this king let a stranger be with him alone in an upper room in a private chamber? And he don't even barely know him. Unless he's thinking, I'm about to get something. Moabites. I'm telling you, go read about the Moabites. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to put stuff together. The Moabites, that's their whole culture. That's what they do. That's what they on. Moab gets down like that. Moab gets down like that. He went in there and he like, oh, this is a Moabite king. I already know what he wants. I got a secret for you. Oh, really? Hey, you guys got to get out. He got to tell me a secret. He popped him through with the sword. His belly was so soft that they talk about the sword went all the way in and then the hilt went in after it, dude. That's how much was there also. Literally, his gut was so big, it absorbed the entire sword. They said it was a cubit. Y'all gotta, y'all gotta read it. They talking about the sword that he made was a cubit. So what went into the stomach and completely disappeared into there? It's like a cartoon almost. They talking about he stabbed him with something that was a cubit plus because they said a cubit was the sword. And the hilt is probably, another little something. They talking about the whole thing went in. The way they say he stabbed him, it's like boom, and like his head, like he probably had to pull his hand out of there, like dang, God. Like the whole thing just went in after, like, hey, you soft like that too. They popped him through there and he escaped out of there. The lazy bureaucrat aristocratic class that's supposed to have his back, supposed to be watching him, but he keeping them fat, sleek ones around him. Gonna come to the door and was like, they probably still in there. Are y'all listening to this? They don't really want to do their job of protecting him and stuff like that, but also it's like, we know how our king gets down too. They come to the door and it's locked. And they're like, oh, he's in there with that new man. That's what it said. It said they tarried at the door and they was embarrassed to want to go in. They don't want to walk in on something. They came to the door like, and they convinced each other. We kind of lazy. We don't really swing into action nothing. But also probably, think about it, man. The king's probably in there covering his feet. Whatever that means, dude. Whatever that means. And they said they sat down at the door till it was just like, dang, what? Maybe not. Maybe they fell asleep. Let's just kind of go in and see now. And they found him in there dead. It was long enough for this guy to get a long ways away. Because they talk about the king is up in there with this dude. So let them get done with their business. The Father can use you. Slim down. Stay slim. Stay active. Stay purposeful in God. So you can keep the oppressor off of you. That type of weight is really a sign of an oppressor. These are the stereotypes behind it. You're lazy, slothful, you're not purposeful. You may have been at one point, but also now you're moving into the feet of an oppressor. People see you and say you're probably of the oppressive class, the fat class that's eating everything while other people are hungry. It's a bad look. It says that the finest looking, handsomest looking one into the Bible versus all different types of people was one that had come off of a fast for 21 days of just vegetables and water. What do you think he looked like? You think he had a big old belly that you could put a sword, the cubit in, a size of a cubit into him? No, not unlikely. Probably if you tried to stab him, you will miss. You try to stab him, he just turn to the side. You try to come with that little left-handed joint like that, he'd be like, whoa. Then you try to stab him the other way, he'd turn again. Whoa. Daniel was slim, man, and he was the top in all things. You just gotta just keep it real, because people want to tell you, oh no, you can be fat and all that. It's foolishness. Look, the blood will circulate. All this type 2 diabetes and stuff is all real. Your blood will circulate. It will get from your feet to your brain. It will get all the way to the epidermis layer of the skin. You're going to see. Your thinking will be clearer. Okay? You're going to have more energy. All of these things are associated with good health. The active and righteous is actually a righteous thing for your body to operate the way the Father created it to operate. And I'm going to say this and I'm done. It says that after this dude, after that whole scenario and stuff like that, they had peace for a long time. Right? Of course. Doing what you're supposed to, you're going to have peace for a long time. But then it says that, of course, they had to have another one come up. This is just a little blurb just to show you that what I'm proving to you, that everything that I'm talking about, proving to you that everything I'm talking about is real and it's all backed up into the scripture. It says, then after they had peace for a long time, then this other guy that rose up and he killed 600 Philistines. And the way he killed them was with a cattle prod, a certain type of ancient cattle prodder. This how it's made. It's made with a long, about 6 foot, slim stick. See what I'm saying? Slim down, fat boy. He killed 600 Philistines with this instrument. A slim wooden stick. Not no big old fat log. Did you see what I'm talking about? Understand the difference. Because somebody with some just thinking in theory would say, oh, I want to get a big thing, because if I hit him, it can wipe him out. But you can't barely move it. But this slim stick, you can use that to move all the oxen. That's what it is. The largest, strongest animals, you see that? You can move them. The largest, strongest animals, you can move them with a slim stick. And at the end of this stick is a metal point. They can use either end. And they usually use the metal point to just, clean off little plow things or something like that. They need an extra little point or whatever. And he took that, he killed 600 Philistines with it. No one ever thought that that instrument could be anything other than something to move cows around. But it was a weapon. Because when you are conformed to the way the Father made you, he can use you and you'll be at maximum effectiveness across many different types of spectrums. You hear what I said? This ain't just no cattle prod, baby. You understand? This ain't just no cattle prod. This ain't just no slim stick, man, that you could just break into. No. This one will kill 600 Philistines. He has to. Keep some little tribulation nearby, some little trial, some opposition, oppression around the corner, adversary. To keep us on our toes, to keep us purposeful, to keep us in our righteous position, knowing that we could be oppressed at any time. And the answer to it should be prepared. Sit him down, fat boy. So the Father can use you effectively in any of these circumstances to alleviate oppression. Spill that. You on your thing? Who? I'm saying, Josiah. Be prepared. Our Father put some strife nearby to be able to keep us alert and ready and poised to do righteousness and prepared. Not that he doesn't want us to have peace, but he understands that sometimes we can't handle it for long periods of time. We mess around and get that ready for the slaughter. Slim down. I bless you this day in the name of our most powerful Father. Yeah. And I pray that he blesses you and keeps you. That he causes his face to shine upon you and is gracious to you. That he lifts up his countenance upon you and gives you peace. Pray that in his name and in the name of the Son, the Christ, the Messiah, Yeshua, our brother. And in the name of our Father, Yah's most Holy Spirit, Yahuwah. Amen.